Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Wirecast Live. I am so excited to have you all here today. Today, we are going to be talking about how to use live video to grow your blog and vice versa. We got a lot of great tips that I'm going to be sharing with you, and I'm looking forward to interacting with you, to engaging with you. We're going to have a great time. So, on that note, let's do it. Welcome, welcome. We are so excited for today's show. I am so excited for today's show. I hope you are excited as well. If you're here, let us know in the chat whether you are joining us on YouTube or Facebook Live or Periscope, wherever you are, let us know. We are excited to know who are here and where you're tuning in from. That would be awesome. Hey, I just want to let you know that you can always subscribe to Wirecast to be notified whenever we go live. You can follow us on social media, Telestream Wirecast on Facebook, Wirecast on Twitter and Periscope, and Wirecast Tube on the Tube, which is YouTube. And of course, if you want to be notified whenever we go live with another show, you can go to telestream.net/Wirecast Live. Now, I look a little different. I am normally not as dark as I am today. I normally speak a little different, but no, your normal host, Andrew, is not available today, but I am here as a guest. My name is Leslie Samuel. I am from becomeablogger.com, where we're changing the world one blog at a time. And I'm excited to be doing today's show. Let's see who we have joining us live so far. I see Carlos is joining us on Facebook, and I am excited that you are here, Carlos. I see John on YouTube, and I see a number of people joining us. If you are here, let us know who you are and where you're joining in from. We're going to be going into a lot of great content today. If you're interested in blogging, if you're interested in live video, you are going to be interested in the content that we are covering today. I want to let you know that next week I will be here once again, and we're going to be having an awesome show. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing some live case studies. We're going to live video case studies. We're going to look at what some individuals and companies are out there doing, and we're going to kind of break it down so that we can extract some lessons from what's working for them and also what's not working, so that we can have a better idea of things that we can apply as we use live videos to grow our blogs, to grow our businesses, as we try to engage with our audience. We want to get tips from those that are doing it well. So we're going to look at all of that on next week. So I hope you join me back next week, same time, same place, and we're going to do this. So today we are talking about how to use live video to grow your blog, or how to use your blog to grow live video. We're going to cover both of those. Now, I want to tell you a little bit of a story, because I started my blog at becomeablogger.com back in September of 2008. And when I started my blog, this was kind of in the earlier days of blogging. I used to write articles, and that was my primary form of content. And then since then, I kind of evolved and started adding some videos. And that to me was very exciting. It was exciting because not only was I creating content, but now people could see me, people could hear me, or they can see my screen. And it was kind of like at a deeper level because of that video. Now, eventually I decided to start a podcast, and this kind of represented a shift in my business, because now people were tuning in on a weekly basis to listen to what I would have to say. And when they wouldn't watch a 40-minute video or an hour-long video, they would listen to me talk for 30 minutes or 40 minutes about what I'm passionate about and sharing what I'm good at with the world. And what I started to notice was that a relationship was developing between my audience and I. And for me, that was amazing. Now, I want to fast forward a little bit to 2015. I was at an event. It was Social Media Marketing World in San Diego, 2015. And there was a new app that launched. And this new app was Periscope. And everyone was talking about it, but I couldn't use it because I was on an Android device at the time, and it launched on Facebook. And I remember I was one of the speakers at the event, and we were at the speakers party, and my friend Cliff Ravenscraft, he had his phone, and we were talking, but he also had Periscope open, and we were able to interact with people live that were not there. Now, I know this is all old news now. Everybody knows about Periscope and all that good stuff. But for me at the time, my mind was blown because he was talking to his audience and he was bringing his audience into this experience. And then I was able to talk to his audience and interact with them and engage with them. And for me, this was kind of like, oh my word, how is this possible? Where is technology going? This is amazing. And I was so excited on in May of that year when it finally came to Android and I was actually able to use Periscope for the first time. Then I got introduced to programs such as Wirecast. And obviously, this is hosted by Wirecast right now. And I was introduced to Wirecast. And if my mind was blown before, it got kind of like blown to the next level because now I was able to do more professional productions. I was able to share my screen. I was able to bring in lower thirds and animations and all that kind of stuff. And that just blew my mind even more because what was once only available if you were spending many thousands of dollars was now accessible to little old me in my basement as I am right now. I could create this content and I could be that professional TV studio that I always kind of dreamed about being a part of when I was a child. Now, live video has come a long way and the tools that we have evolved significantly. And if you're not using live video to connect with your audience, I want to encourage you to start doing it. But today, what I want to talk about is how you can do it in a way that can help you to build your blog and how you can use your blog in a way that will help you to build your live video. So I see we have Rafiq that's joining us from Dubai. It's 1:30 a.m. in the morning, Rafiq. We are so excited that you decided to take time out of your busy day, well, early morning, to be here with us and to engage with us. That is just awesome. So what I want to talk about first is why you should consider using live video, because I'm telling you about how excited I am about using live video. But let's talk about why. You know, I want to share with you a few stats. Social video receives about 1,200% more shares than video and text combined. Social video. Now let's talk about live video on Facebook. They've shared that they are watched 3 times longer than regular video. That means you have your audience's attention for an average of 3 times as much time. And for me, that is amazing because now you can engage with them for longer periods of time. Now, we all know that Facebook and YouTube are both trying to dominate in this live video space. And they're spending a ton of money to try to develop live video and bring it onto the platform. And for me as a content creator, as a blogger, that is exciting. And it's not just Facebook and YouTube. Now you have Instagram that allows you to go live. And of course, there's Periscope. We're streaming live on Periscope as well because you have all of these places that you can broadcast your message, that you can bring exposure to what you're doing, that you can connect with people at a deeper level. So I see here we have Helicopter Online Ground School on YouTube says, I blog, I podcast, YouTube, Wirecast. This is giving me an idea on how to be more effective. That's exactly it. And I am very excited that you are here to learn about how to be more effective with live video. All right. Now, Here's a very interesting thing that I want you to pay attention to. We're still talking about why you should consider using live video. Before we get into the how-to and some of the tips and tactics that you can use to grow your live video and to use live video to grow your blog, there is one form of content on Facebook that they are really pushing hard. They're pushing to the extent that when this form of content appears on Facebook, they will actually send a notification to the people that are following you. It's not when you post a status update. It's not when you post a link to go and check out your latest article or the cool products that you have or anything of that sort. In fact, many of those things are being suppressed unless you pay for it. But when you go live, if I am following you, if I have my notifications turned on, as soon as you go live, I get that notification. If before we went live today, you signed up, you followed Telestream, you followed Wirecast, if that was the case, you probably received a notification when we went live. And that, if there is one thing that should convince you that live video is something that you should be taking seriously, it is exactly that. They are notifying people when you go live. They're not doing it when you post other status updates. They're not doing it for many of those other things. They're only doing that, or they're primarily doing that when you go live. And if you want to take advantage of this, obviously, Facebook wants live video. They want to dominate when it comes to live video. And if you want to help Facebook dominate by creating more engaging live video, then they also want to help you, because this is a medium that they want to do very well on their platform. All right. Have I painted a good picture for why this is something that you should be considering? I think by now you should be on board with the idea that this is something that you should be taking seriously, because these big players, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, all of these big players are paying full attention, and they are going gung-ho after this live video phenomenon that we are seeing going on right now. All right, so you are convinced. I'm just going to assume that you are convinced right now. By the way, we are live. We're going to be live again next week. I'm so glad that you are here. If you are here, let us know in the chat. We'd love to engage with you. And if you have questions at any point while we're talking about live video, go ahead and ask it. If you have questions about live video and blogging, or whatever the case might be, go ahead and ask it in the comments, and I will try to answer some of your questions, if not all of your questions. And I'm checking here on Facebook. I see we have Deb says hi. Hi, Deb. Very excited that you are here. Jairo, I hope I'm saying your name right. Hello. Glad to have you here. And we have a number of people joining us, and that is very, very exciting. Okay. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, Leslie, I'm sold. I now believe that live video is something that I should be doing. I believe that I should be using it to grow my blog. I should be using my blog to grow my live video platform and all of that stuff. Now, let's talk about how. Let's talk about the what to do now that you are on board with this concept. Okay, first thing I want to talk about. You want to use live video to grow your blog. You want to use live video to grow whatever it is you're doing online. The first thing I want you to answer is this. Why do you want to use live video? Like, what is your purpose? And I know this is not very tactical yet, but I want to cover some of this foundational stuff before we go into the tactics and the things that you're going to be actually doing. I want you to think about why you want to do it. Is it because you want to promote your blog, your content? Is it because you want to bring awareness to your cause? Is it because you want to grow your business or anything along those lines? What is your reason? Or is it that you want to connect with your audience? We all know if we can connect with our audience in a way that they get to know, like, and trust us, they're going to be much more likely to do business with us. They're going to be much more likely to buy from us if they know, like, and trust us. And going live allows you to connect with them in that way. What is your reason for going live? Is it because you want to grow your email list? Why do you want to do it? That's something I want you to think about significantly. before you fully, decide what you're going to be doing, because what you're going to be doing is going to be influenced by why you're doing it. And if you have that clear why from beforehand, it's going to help to set you up for success when you start implementing the things that we are going to be talking about today. Now, I am going to suggest that if you're doing live video to grow your blog, one of the things that you want to be focusing on is using live video to grow your email list. And I want to talk about why really quick. Here's the fact. I've been blogging since 2008, and what I know for sure is that most of the people that visit your blog, let's say someone shares one of your latest blog posts on Facebook or on Twitter, and I click on that link and I visit your blog, I'm going to consume that content, and then what am I going to do? I'm going to leave. I'm going to go back to my everyday life. I'm going to go back to what I was doing. If I was browsing on Facebook, I'm going to continue scrolling. And what you want to do is capture those people as much as you can, because once you can get them on your email list, then you can communicate with them on an ongoing basis. You can continue to provide them with value. You can connect with them at a deeper level. And then you can also bring them back to your blog, and you can bring them back to your live video. Getting them on your email list is a very powerful step. Now, of course, you want them to subscribe to you if it's on YouTube Live. You want them to subscribe to you on YouTube. You want them to like your page on Facebook and all of that good stuff. But the fact is, you don't have as much control over those platforms. If the algorithm changes in a way that, today I'm talking about how much Facebook is pushing your live streams. Well, what happens in 2 years if they are no longer doing that? If all you were dependent on is them subscribing to your channel or liking your page, now you don't have as much control over your brand and over your business. So I want to encourage you to think about one of your primary goals being to grow your email list. All right, let's move on. Okay, so think about the why and have your why and understand why you're doing it, because once we know why we're doing it, we can set up all of the other things to make sure that we are doing the right thing to accomplish our goals. All right? Now, let's go into some of the more tactical stuff. Now we know our why. We already know, we're already convinced that live video is something that we want to use to grow our blogs. Next thing is, I want you to set a schedule. I mean, yes, you can do random live streams. There's nothing wrong with that. But in terms of building that audience, I want you to put something on your calendar, and I want it to be at least once a week on the same day at the same time. For example, Wirecast, we go live here every Thursday at 2:30. Let me get that right, 2:30 Pacific. And you know that you can expect a new live stream every Thursday at that time. And you can then put that in your schedule, and you can plan around that, because Wirecast and the team at Telestream have decided we are going to be consistent. Consistency is one of the keys to growth. And if you want to grow your live stream, you want to grow your audience so that you can grow your blog and so you can grow your online presence, your platform, your brand, or whatever, you want to be consistent. I do see some questions on YouTube, and we are going to get to those questions, so make sure to keep asking them. I'm excited to dig into some of these questions with you on here. Okay. First thing, set a schedule and be consistent. Second thing, what I want you to do, you remember before I said how important it will be to grow your email list? I want you to create some kind of a free resource, one that's related to the problem that you are helping your audience solve. So if, for example, you are Telestream and you have this amazing program called the Wirecast that's helping people to stream live and do a professional production live on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and all these other platforms, they can create a resource that's, the top 5 ways to have an awesome live video stream or something of that sort, or how to overcome the struggles of a live video streamer. All right, that is very relevant to the content that we're creating here. And if you're on here watching this video, this live video, you're probably going to be very interested in that content. And you, as the person that's creating this resource and doing this live stream, can then use that as an incentive to get people to go and do something. In other words, sign up to your email list. And when they sign up to your email list to get access to that resource, you can now engage with them at a deeper level. You can continue to send them more value via email. You can continue to nurture that relationship and engage with them in a way that's kind of personal, right? Because they're inviting you into their email inboxes. So I want you to create some kind of a free resource so that you can incentivize people to go from that live stream and get access to this resource, and so that you can communicate with them on an ongoing basis. I see Richard is asking about how do you get your email list started, and I want to take that question right now because that's what we're talking about. It's very simple. It's relatively simple to get an email list started. The first thing you want to do is sign up with an email marketing service. So this could be GetResponse, which is one that I promote a lot. It could be Drip. It could be ConvertKit. It can be Aweber. It could be MailChimp. MailChimp even allows you to start for free for up to 2,000 subscribers. You just sign up with whatever email marketing service you prefer. You can evaluate them and just choose one that works well for you, or that you think will work well for you. And once you've signed up with that, then you can create your email list. You can create your free incentive. You can use that as an incentive to get them to go to a page where they can sign up to join that email list. And then you can send them emails. You can send them a newsletter, or you can have an autoresponder sequence that's set up that nurtures that relationship, that sends them value on a regular basis. There's so many things that you can do once you have an email list. If you just leave from this live broadcast with one tip of, you know what, I'm going to get an email list going, you have taken away a lot. All right. If you don't have an email list and you're doing online business, that's one of the first things that I want you to fix. All right. And of course, if you have more questions about that, feel free to ask and we can connect. You can connect with me and I can give you even more advice where that's concerned. All right, let's see. Let's move on from there. Okay, so create that free resource. Okay, and now we have that. And I'm going to talk about some strategies for really getting people from the live stream to that email list so that you can engage with them and so that you can help to grow your blog and your live stream with that email list. Okay, let's move on. Pre-promotion is the next thing I want to talk about, because here's one of the things that I see a lot of people do wrong. What they do is they decide that they're going to go live, and they're going to go live on a certain day on a certain time. And when it's that time, they go live. And then they wonder, man, why is no one showing up on my live video? Nobody is coming here. Nobody is commenting. Like, we have people here in the chat that are engaging. We have Mike here asking questions. We have Rafiq. We got Lutz. We have Joseph, and all of you that are on here right now engaging with us. Well, part of the reason why you're here is because this was pre-promoted. And that is going to be a key. So what you want to do, some things that you can do, create graphics to promote it. Okay, if you have an email list, you can email your list and let them know that you will be going live on this time, and they can click this link to join. You can pre-schedule it on places like Facebook and so on, so that people can subscribe to be notified when you go live. And you can start promoting that beforehand, so that when you go live, there are people that are already anticipating it. Of course, you can share it on social media. You can share it everywhere you can. Go ahead and share it everywhere that makes sense. All right. Especially if people are following you because they want to engage with your content. Anywhere that makes sense, let them know about it. All right. One of the things that I did right before we went live, well, maybe about 20 minutes before we went live, I went on Instagram, I went on Facebook, and I posted in my stories, hey, I'm about to go live on Wirecast. I showed them how I was setting up here and kind of interacting with them, engaging with them beforehand so that they can jump on this call. And I see some of the people that follow me on here already, which is awesome. you want to pre-promote as much as possible. There's a service that I started using recently that's called Live Leap. And I love it because, especially if you're going live on Facebook, what this service will allow you to do is when you go live, let's say you go live on your Facebook page for your business, it will automatically post that, it will automatically detect that you're going live, and it will post that on your profile or in a group or wherever you want it to post. You can actually have it pop up on your website and let people know that are visiting your site that you're going live, and they can click right there and go directly to that live stream. That's another way of getting people onto your live show. All right. So these are some of the things that you can do beforehand. Create graphics, send an email to your email list, use a service like Lively, post on your stories, whether it's Snapchat or Facebook or Instagram. If you're interviewing a guest, you can have them promote it to their audience. And that will bring even more people, a new audience to your live stream, which is exactly what you want. All right. So these are some of the things that you can do beforehand to promote it. All right. Next thing I want to talk about is some of the assets that you can create. Now, the goal here is to be professional. All right. We're here on Facebook, on YouTube. I'm live and so on. But we have different assets that we're using. We have a lower third. You can see my name and become a blogger where I'm from. We can change up the screen. At the beginning, we had like an intro video clip and all that stuff. That just adds to the professionalism. And it also helps with the branding, because whenever you see those assets, whenever you see those graphics, like this, which direction is it? This thing here that showed up at the top right, that adds to the professionalism. It helps with branding and all of that good stuff. Okay. It also helps with engagement. For example, if I have a graphic for when I ask you specific questions and that graphic shows up, that's going to reinforce what I'm saying and help you it's going to encourage you to take the action that I am encouraging you to take. So for example, earlier on, when we said, hey, you want to follow us, you can follow us on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, and all that stuff. We were able to just bring those graphics up on the screen so that you can see that. And you can, be encouraged to do the things that I am asking you to do. All right. So by creating those graphics, that's going to help to reinforce the message that you have, the calls to actions that you are giving them on that live broadcast. Okay, so you can create intro videos, you can create lower thirds, you can create call to action slides. I want you to think these things through and have them created. If you don't have a big budget for doing this, you can even use a service such as Fiverr in order to create some of these things for as little as $5. You'd be surprised at what you can find. I've seen some really great graphics for live videos coming from that. All right, so I want to jump over to some of the chats to see if we have any questions here so far relating to this. Mike is asking, have you used ManyChat to get people to deliver the value-added offer and to get them to opt into your email list? Mike, I am so glad that you asked that question, because we're going to get to that in a few points. That is a great way to do it, and I'm going to share with you how one of my friends has been having a lot of success by doing just that. If you are curious about this ManyChat thing and you're like, ManyChat, what is he talking about? We're going to get there. Let's see. Mondragon, Leslie is a great... Oh, thank you very much, Mondragon, for the compliment. Joseph is asking, what do you think is the optimal time to do a scheduled live post on Facebook? Great question. I think the optimal time will depend on your audience, and your audience will not be the same as mine. So what I recommend for you to do is go into your Facebook Insights. And when you go into your Facebook Insights, you're going to be able to see when your audience is online. So for me, for example, I know that if I do my live stream before 9 in the morning, I'm not going to get as many people. But right at 9, I have this peak where I have a lot of people that follow my page, that like my page, are online simultaneously. So you just look at your insights and see when your audience is online, and then you go live based on that. You create your schedule. You can see the days and the times, and that will help you determine the optimal time to go live for your Facebook audience. Let's see. Lars is saying, what I learned is that I gain a lot of viewers when I share the live stream while it is going on. I am so glad that you mentioned that because that's going to be one of the next tips. Could also be done by someone else so that you can concentrate on the live stream. And actually, part of that, one of the things that I mentioned earlier is Live Leap, especially if you're doing it on Facebook. Live Leap will automatically post those things on your different profiles, and that can be a great way of doing it. It can tweet it out, it can post it on your Facebook profile, it could post it on in Facebook groups and all those kinds of stuff, and that can be done automatically. Or as you mentioned, you can have someone that's doing it for you while it's going live, so they can be tweeting it out and sharing it. And of course, we're going to talk about getting your audience to share it, because that makes it even more powerful, because now they're recommending you to their friends and their followers, and that's where the magic happens. A sharing economy makes it all beautiful. All right, let's see if we have any questions on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube. Okay, I think I got all of those. Sweet. Let's continue on with some more tips. So we spoke about the asset creation. I want to briefly talk about equipment, because if you're doing this consistently, if you're trying to do this professionally, there are a few things that you can get that will really enhance the quality of your production. And much of this you probably already know, but a really good thing to get if you're doing it from your computer is a nice webcam like the Logitech C920. That is what I'm using right now. I'm using this webcam, and I have some lights that are in front of me so that you can see my face clearly. Don't go live in a dark room, and it doesn't make you look very professional. Now, everything you do on live video does not have to be 100% professional. But if you're doing like a consistent live stream, something like this, you want it to look as good as possible. And there are some simple things you can do, like having one of these webcams, like having a microphone, whether it's a lapel microphone, or I'm using this. This is not my preference for a live stream, but it works well in that the audio quality is going to be very good, or at least relatively good. So a great microphone that you can use, and I didn't pull mine out, is if you want a microphone that can be on a stand, is the Audio Technica ATR 2100 USB. It's like the longest name for a microphone, but it's really good because you can just plug it in via USB, or you can use XLR to plug it into a mixer. Like I have a mixer here and everything going through that way. But you want to take care of some of the basics, right? Just have a decent quality, especially something that you're going to be doing on a regular basis. Okay, so I just wanted to briefly mention that before I talk about the actual content of your live stream. All right, let's see. Let's move on to your content. What I want you to do is plan your content. You understand why you're trying to do this, because you've thought about your why, what's your reason for doing it. And based on that, I want you to plan your content so that it accomplishes those goals. You can't see this right now, but I actually have an outline of all of the points that I want to cover. Why? Because I don't want to just ramble. I could easily, you could probably tell that I'm someone that can just go on and on. I can easily go off on a tangent about any topic that I'm passionate about, anything that I'm excited about, but I don't want that for my live stream. Yes, there's going to be a place for that once in a while, but generally speaking, I have a goal for my live streams and I want to accomplish those goals. So I want to think through the things that I want to cover so that it accomplishes those goals. And those goals, for me, engage with my audience, provide them with a lot of value, and also get them on my email list. All right? And of course, get them to subscribe and follow and all that kind of stuff. But if I structure my content the right way, I'm going to be more likely to do that, to accomplish my goals. Okay, so when you plan your content, these are some of the tips that I want to give you. Your introduction has to be strong. All right. Your live video may go on for 30 minutes or 45 minutes or an hour. I don't know how long you plan on going live, but it may go on for a while. You want to capture people's attention immediately. And by doing that, you're going to increase the chances that they're actually going to stick around to see the content that you're going to be presenting. So you want to have a strong introduction. And in that strong introduction, you want to make it clear what's in it for them. Not what you have to offer and why your products and services are so amazing, but what will they get? Why should they take time out of their busy schedules to watch you and to listen to you? All right. So at the beginning of this live stream, I let you know that today we're going to be talking about how to use live video to grow your blog and vice versa. And I kind of set the stage with what we're going to cover so that you can determine, hey, this sounds like something interesting. This is something that I need to pay attention to. And that's exactly what we want. So you want to have a strong intro, let people know what you're talking about. If you have kind of like a video intro, like a short, 5-second clip or 10-second clip that kind of introduces your brand and the show and all that stuff, all of that works well, especially after you've given that strong intro. The next thing, you want to let them know who you are. All right, because not everyone that's watching your live stream will know who you are. Maybe your friend shared it. So you want to introduce them to who you are. My name is Leslie Samuel, like I said from the beginning, from becomeablogger.com, where we're changing the world one blog at a time. That is me letting you know who I am. I'm on a mission to change the world one blog at a time. And by helping you start and grow your blog, I believe that I'm accomplishing just that. So every so often, you can kind of bring them back to who you are, because remember that some people are going to be joining like midstream. Okay, so I just did that just now, introducing myself again. Every once in a while, I will go back and introduce myself again, because yes, you may have been here from the beginning, but somebody else may not have. Okay, then you definitely want to let them know what you're going to cover, but then you get into the content. Go as quickly as you can into the content that you're gonna be covering. And once you've delivered all that value, at the end, do a little recap. So this is what we've covered today. Show that you delivered on what you promised that you were gonna deliver on. All right, does that make sense? Lastly, in terms of planning your content, structuring that outline. Now, when I say plan your content, I don't mean scripting everything out, every word that you're going to say. Because the last thing I want to do is come on to a live stream and watch you read a novel. That's not why I'm on there. All right. So if you have an outline of the topics that you want to cover, you're going to cover, that'll keep you focused. It'll help you to accomplish your goal. Lastly, you want to have your call to action. What is your call to action? This goes back to the why you're doing it, right? What is your call to action? What is the next logical step for them to take? Now, remember, if you're doing this to grow your blog, you're going to be focused on growing your email list. And if you're following the steps that I outlined earlier, you're going to have a free resource that you're going to make available for them in exchange for getting them onto your email list. All right? So you want to have that call to action. Most likely, you're going to have multiple calls to actions. For example, at the beginning, I asked you to subscribe. I told you how you could subscribe. But then you also want to get them onto your email list. Now, there are a number of different ways to do this. One of the ways is by just having a URL. I could say, like, I have one, becomeablogger.com/spreadsheet. And I could tell you, go there. Or I could tell you, go to bloggercoaching.com or whatever URL that's redirecting to the resource that I am providing. Okay, those are some things that you can do. But if you want to take it to the next level, who was it that mentioned this? I want to give them some credit here again. ManyChat. Mike Grayeb mentioned he was asking, have you used ManyChat to get people onto your email list? I haven't used it personally. I'm actually just toying around with it right now. But I have a friend, Erin from $5dinners.com. And what she does, and I love it, is she goes live showing people how to make certain recipes. And all throughout, she will say to them, hey, if you are interested in this guide that will help you make the recipe, but basically a printout of this recipe, just type, and she will tell you what to type in the comments. And when you type that in the Facebook comments of that live stream, it will automatically send that person a message on Facebook Messenger with the ability to go and subscribe to get that. And that to me is powerful. Now, if you're not familiar with ManyChat, what this is a platform that allows you to create Facebook Messenger bots. And it's a powerful combination if you use it with live streams. because now you don't have to just tell them to go and type in this long URL like becomeablogger.com/spreadsheet. You could just tell them type spreadsheet in the comments and you will get it. Or you could tell them not even spreadsheet, just type SS in the comments, something really short that will make them curious. Like, wait, I could just type it in the comments and all of a sudden get access to it. And whenever she does that, you will see a stream of people typing that keyword that she mentioned in those comments, and then they will automatically get a messenger pop-up that they can go ahead and submit their email address and sign up for it that way. And it works very, very well. All right. So that's something that you can experiment with, because it's a great way to get people from your Facebook live stream to your email list. And once they're on your email list, then it can make it much easier for you to promote your other live streams and also promote the content that's going to be on your blog. All right, let's continue on. We're coming down to the end here. The next thing, last point I want to make, interact and engage. Now, you will see that at different points throughout this live stream, I've gone through, and right now I have Facebook open on my phone. I have YouTube open on this screen next to me here. And I'm every so often going in and I'm talking to Helicopter Online Ground School on YouTube. I'm talking to Gyro that's on YouTube as well, and so on. I call your names out. I spoke to Joseph that was asking some questions on here. I spoke to Rafiq and so on and so forth. There's something powerful about hearing your name. I remember just a simple illustration, but I was watching a live stream once and my son was with me and I knew the person that was doing the live stream and I typed really quick, "Hey, can you call my son's name?" And he saw that and he called out my son's name. He said, "Hey, Noah, how you doing?" My son was taken back. He was so excited. He was like, "Wait, he's talking to me." And he started to smile and he got excited and he wanted to see more of that video. There is something powerful about watching a video and hearing them call your name. And I want to encourage you to do that. Now, this can be something that can get distracting. If you have a constant stream of comments that are going and going, it's very easy for you to get distracted by the comments and then not be able to focus on the value that you are trying to deliver. And what I would recommend, especially if you're someone that's easily distracted, is not to focus on the comments throughout the entire stream. You will probably notice that every once in a while, I go back to my device. I go back to YouTube. I go back to the different platforms to see what people are saying. But I'm not doing it constantly because that can be distracting for me. And it can also be distracting for you as the viewer. And we want to avoid that at all costs. So, some ways that you can do that. Ask specific questions at specific times and plan those out. Also be conscious of how many people you have on here. For example, if there are only 2 people on this live stream right now, and I know there aren't, I see we have 21 watching on YouTube, we have 12 on Facebook, we have some on all these different platforms. I am not going to ask a question and then wait for that 1 or 2 people to respond. All right, because I know there are only, especially if I'm just getting this going, if there are a few people on here, I'm going to ask a question, but then I'm going to continue on with my with my content. And then once in a while, I look to see if someone answered that question. So you want to be very conscious of how many people you have on and what the engagement level is. And of course, as you grow, it's going to reach to a point where you have so many comments coming in. You're not going to pay attention to every single comment because you're actually trying to put on a live show here. But every once in a while, you can kind of go through and jump at one or two of the questions or 1 or 2 of the comments. And that will help your audience feel as if they are a part of this. All right, I see Ayodeji is saying great info. Helicopter Online Ground School is saying great tips. Thank you all so much. He says a great tip will save me a bunch of time. Yes, it will. And it will also save you from, okay, I'm live. Hold on 1 minute. Let me share this on my personal profile. Okay, let me share this into my Facebook group. Nobody cares about the fact that you're sharing it. They're on here to connect with you, to get value from you. So anything that distracts from that is a distraction from your goal, because remember, you've determined why you want to do this. You've determined why you want to use live video. Now it's time to make sure that your content lines up directly with your purpose. All right. So the idea here, once again, just to recap, and if you have questions, now would be a great time to post those questions in the chat, and we'll try to take a few for the last few minutes while we're here. But to recap, we understand why live video is such a big deal. And I've gone through some of the tips that you can use to really use live streaming to grow your blogs. And some of the things that I mentioned was decide on your purpose. Why are you doing this? Set a schedule and be consistent. Create that free resource that you can use to entice people to join your email list. Do some pre-promotion. Create those graphics and get those graphics, promote to your email list. Use a program like LiveLeap to share your Facebook Live videos. Go on your stories and let people know, hey, I am going live. If you're interviewing guests, have them promoted as well. Get assets created like your intro videos, lower thirds, call to action slides, etc. Make sure you have a decent equipment. Plan out your content so that it can accomplish the goals that you have set. Have your calls to action, and that can be subscribe, like, all that kind of stuff. There's one thing I forgot to mention. I kind of mentioned it in passing. I wanna emphasize it right now. And it's actually something that I didn't do much on this one. I should have done it. I should have done this right at the beginning. Let your audience know, or invite your audience on a regular basis to share this live video. And now I'm going to ask you this right now. Have you gotten value from this? And do you know people that can get value from this as well? If so, I want to ask you to click on that share button, regardless of what platform you are, and share it with your friends. And let them get this value as well, so that it's not you just getting all this value for yourself. You can be the one that's introducing them to this value. Okay, so your calls to actions. Remember that people come in and out. So every so often, remind them who you are and what you're doing. This is Leslie Samuel here from becomeablogger.com, where we're changing the world one blog at a time, doing this Wirecast Live in partnership with Telestream. And we do this every week on Thursdays at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. If you care about live streaming, you want to be there, you want to subscribe, all that stuff. Every so often, remember to mention those things. And lastly, interact and engage. Interact and engage. Because this is live video. The fact that it's live makes it so that we can interact and we can engage, and that makes it that much more powerful. All right, let's see if we have any other comments here or questions. I see we had some questions that was taken care of by the Telestream team. Let's see, anything else? I think we got everything. I think we got everything. So that is the end of today's topic. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you got a lot of value. Once again, I want to remind you to share. If you want to reach out to me, connect with me, you can find me at becomeablogger.com. On Facebook, I am Become a Blogger. On Twitter and many other platforms, you can find me at Leslie Samuel, or you can email me at leslie@becomeablogger.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. And just as a reminder, where you can find Telestream Wirecast, you can follow them on Facebook at Telestream Wirecast, on Twitter at Wirecast, and on YouTube as Wirecast Tube. If you enjoyed this content, you're going to enjoy the other content that they have coming to you on a weekly basis. So make sure to connect with them. And of course, whatever platform you decide to connect with them on, turn on notifications, as we spoke about, so that you can be notified as soon as we go live and get as much value as humanly possible. Lastly, we want to thank our partners, and you can see them coming up on the screen, all of these different companies that have partnered with Telestream to be able to provide you with more value. As a reminder, next week, we are going to be doing another live stream. I'm going to be your host yet again, and we're going to be looking at some case studies, some live video case studies, analyzing what is working and what isn't. Once again, thank you for joining us. Join us back again next week, and have a blessed rest of the day. Bye, guys.